A major part of self-mastery is not allowing the chaos that's going on around you to affect what's going on in you. And based on my self-mastery journey in life, that has probably been the most difficult thing that I'm still trying to master, is to not allow the outside noise and to not allow the effects of what other people do shake me internally. In life, you must be extremely resilient, because the goal of the world is to have you collapse internally, to have you lose yourself, to have you lose that confidence that you have, lose that self-esteem that you have, lose that ambition. That's what the world is doing. It's an assimilation to shake the inner man of human beings, and only the fittest will survive on a spiritual and energetic level. And I like to use Jesus as an example. Jesus could not be shaken. He could not be shaken, and for those of you who are believers or who are not believers, how do you get to a point where you're not shaken? You have to be in the God consciousness to get to a point where you're not shaken. And getting to a point where you're not shaken is very difficult. I was thinking about that today when I was driving. I was like, how do I get to a place where what's going on around me does not shake anything in me? How do I get to the point where nothing can take my peace? How do I get to the point where I could literally walk through an entire fire like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and just not get burned and just be unfazed because I know God is right in there with me? Because life can be very chaotic, ladies and gentlemen. Life can be very chaotic, and there's just so many battles that each of us have to fight individually. We have these battles, and it's all spiritual too. Like you ladies who are... I saw this post today when I was driving to work, and it made me extremely emotional. And I started crying when I was listening to it on my way to work. And yes, this message applies to all women, but I'm going to talk about Black women for a second. Okay. And I love you all, no matter the color, but I'm going to talk about Black women for a second. And I don't want anyone to comment, please, when I decide to take just 2 minutes out of my 30-minute videos, when I decide to just give 2 minutes away to the African American woman experience, if that ruffles your feathers, then you really don't support me at all. Because I am experiencing life from an African American woman's lens, by the way. I was listening to this thing when I was driving, and this woman was talking about how Black women are just overwhelmed. There's been a lot of videos on it, and the way that the pressures that other races experience, Black women experience those pressures times 10, double it for the Black women, because society feels like Black women cannot have anything, not even peace. That's why Black women can't go into the workplace and not talk. We're not even allowed to not talk. We have to perform. We always have to be working. We cannot just live. You have to constantly be on your best behavior. You get to watch other races get away with everything, but you cannot breathe wrong, step wrong. It's like you are constantly being observed. You're constantly being observed. Now I'm going to revert back to what I was saying in general to all women and men. The goal of the world spiritually is to disrupt your inner man. Self-mastery is when you really think that none of this is real anyways. Self-mastery is when you reach that God consciousness where the world can't shake you. People can't shake you. What people do to you can't shake you. People are always trying to shake you. I read this post that said, the world's not bad, people are bad. It's true. Life's not bad, people are bad. It's people that are usually going to bring in the trouble into your life. Because people, they're at war with themselves. That's the problem. So when they meet another person, they transfer that energy, whether it's through bullying you, giving you a hard time, stepping on your toes. You want to know how I know if somebody's happy or not? I know the level of someone's happiness based on the level of pain they inflict on other human beings. You cannot tell me you're happy, but you're trying to get everybody in your workplace fired. You can't tell me you're happy, but you're provoking people. You can't tell me you're happy, but you're breaking people down or crushing dreams. I know, listen, you're not fooling anybody. And what shocks me the most is a lot of the people who do these wild things are married. And I know your marriage isn't happy either. I know you're not happy with your marriage. Because no one leaves a happy home with their wife and kids to come into an environment and ostracize people. You don't like your marriage. You don't like where you are in life. And you don't like yourself. You don't. Because if you did, you wouldn't treat people the way that you treat them. The goal of the world, ladies and gentlemen, is to get you to reach a place of having a troubled soul. You must be strong. You must be resilient to not let the world gain your soul. That's why when somebody is at peace, it bothers people so much. I've realized that people don't like quiet environments. Every time you're in an environment of people, you're quiet, they think something's wrong. That's how much people are so chaotic energetically, spiritually. It's chaos. It's a roller coaster going in their spirit. Their spirit is troubled. They have no peace. That you just being quiet is a cause of concern. I'm not talking because I don't feel like it. I don't feel like talking. That's why I'm not talking. I'm at peace today. I feel good today. My brain, my mind, it's beautiful in there. I'm thinking beautiful thoughts. I feel good. I don't want to talk. Silence is beautiful. I don't have to speak today. But people are so chaotic that someone that's just in their element, at peace and at ease, is signaled as something's wrong. Why does something have to be wrong with someone who's enjoying quietness? When did we start villainizing peace and quietness? Because the world wants your soul to be troubled. The world wants your soul to be tormented, demented. That's what the world wants for you and from you. That's why people work so overtime to get reactions out of you. They want to shake you up internally so that you can lose balance internally. That's why people try so hard to break you down. Indirect insults. Coming at the way you look, your body, your hair, your outfit. Trying to pick you apart to see, can I shake her inner world? It's what's in you that they're trying to get to. And I'm going to use her as an example because I always do. Beyonce did an interview with a magazine and she talked about, my personality is not on display. My product is not my personality. My product is my music. My product is my product. I worked extremely hard to get to this point in my life where I'm so private that I'm protecting me and my kids and my husband and my family. And I'm just protecting the little bit of normalcy that we have. Do you know that she drops and picks her kids up from school? Beyonce understands, for example, the way that she performs, her perfectionism, to have that amount of power and consistency and diligence and structure and order, you have to disconnect yourself from allowing the outside world to have the opportunity to shake you internally. Because the minute they can shake you internally, they can shake everything else around you. And she makes a conscious decision to make sure that doesn't happen. The way that she lives her life is very different from other people. Remember I told you guys I was going to start that podcast that talks about how I live my life differently? I just have so much on my plate. I'm going to get to it, I promise. But Beyonce is definitely one of those people who lives her life differently. I'll put her next to Lauren London. Those two are very similar with how they live their lives differently, because they are trying to spiritually keep themselves balanced so that they don't crash out. All the other celebrities, all the other famous people, they're crashing out because they allowed the world to get a hold of that internal peace that they have. And how do you allow the world to get a hold of the internal peace that you have? When you start giving bits and pieces of yourself away. And you're allowing what's going on in the outside world to shake you. That's why a lot of people who comment negative things on my videos, I block the user so they can't comment again. Because you are trying to come on my page and trigger and ignite something negative in me. Because you see my bright light. You see my light. You see my potential. You see my power. And you want to try and chip away at it. I'm not going to respond to you. Because if I respond to you, that's me giving power away. I'm not giving power away. I give enough away with just my brand in general. I'm not going to give power away. Now, me giving reactions, that's me giving power away. I don't have to give you a reaction. I can just block you and keep my power for me. My power is mine. It's not for you. So I understand human nature and how they say things. It's power they want to withdraw from you. That's why I said Beyonce, spiritually, she's very intelligent because she won't give her power away to anyone. That's why that's why energetically, spiritually, that's why she's so, what's the word? She's so resilient because she's not letting her energy and power leak. I love Miss Nicki Minaj, but Nicki's always usually spazzing and crashing out. She allows them to disrupt her internally. And the minute you allow people to internally disrupt you, they have you. Oh, I know if I do this, she's going to crash out. I know if I say this, she's going to crash out. I know if I post this, she's going to crash out. And when people know more than often you'll crash out, they're going to keep doing things to you to make you crash out because they want to internally keep you demented and disrupted. Beyonce doesn't reply to any allegations. Not one allegation will receive a response. Doesn't mean they're going to give up and stop trying. But they want to disrupt your peace. That's why people throw rocks and hide their hand. It's all about wondering, am I going to get a reaction out of her? You really have to get to a point where you have to realize, is this sent to take my peace away? Is this situation presented to me to take my peace away? Is that what this is here for? Is this trying to disrupt me internally? Because if you come to the conclusion that that's the case, don't let it take your peace away internally. I had a tenant that sent me a message, and this person literally sent me 15 paragraphs. Did I read the paragraphs? No. Did I go through what they were saying? No. Did I respond back? No. Why? Because I already said what I had to say in regard to that situation. I already said what I had to say, and I only speak once. I don't repeat myself. I already said what I had to say to the tenant. I already said what I had to say about their situation, and I'm not saying it again. I'm not saying it again, and I'm not going to go back and forth. And I'm not, when you're sending messages, F-bomb this, F-bomb that, like the minute it gets to the point where you're crashing out, I'm not going to be a willing participator. I'm not going to participate in that darkness. And that's what a lot of people want you to do. They want you to participate in their chaos. They want to suck you into the chaos. And it's up to you to say, no, I'm not going to get sucked into this. When you get that text of your ex or your mom or your sister or your brother, or someone is texting you and talking to you very crazy and acting very crazy, you have to ask yourself, will I engage in this or will I not engage in this? You have to learn how to disarm people, ladies and gentlemen. And you disarm people by taking your energy and your reaction away. Unhappy people thrive off reactions, negative ones. Unhappy people want negative reactions out of people. That's why they say and do certain things. I told you guys the other day, a girl saw me and I walked in, with this cute linen loungewear outfit, and she asked me if it was pajamas. And I looked at her and then I looked right back down. I completely ignore her. It's like she didn't say anything. Would she consider that rude? Probably. But I know what you're trying to do, and it's not going to work. It's not going to. I'm not even going to engage with that energy because it's demonic. And when you do that, you remove the power. That person is powerless. You render them powerless in that moment. A lot of you guys spend a lot of your times going back and forth, and the person is happy that you're arguing with them because that's what they want you to do. They want to they want to receive something negative from you. Why give it to them? Keep your power, ladies and gentlemen. Your power is yours. Your power belongs to you. Your power is yours. Keep that peace that God has given you. That peace, that soul level peace and balance. A lot of you guys need to start lighting candles in your room, burning some sweet smelling incense, play some jazz music. Get the vibe going, honey. Get the vibe going. Have some warm tea, put some melatonin drops, do your meditations, your affirmations, do your mirror work. Meaning you go in front of the mirror and you're telling yourself you're beautiful, you're smart, you're kind, you're caring. You attract the best people. You attract the best opportunities. You're a wonderful person. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. You are more than a conqueror. God is fighting for you. It's time for us to remove the focus off other people and put it on ourselves. A healthy level of selfishness is a part of self-preservation, by the way. Because you won't be able to preserve yourself if you let these wolves and hyenas that are on this planet, these people who are wolves, who are hungry energetically, to come in and suck out your essence. It's all about peace, love, tranquility, balance, and most importantly, in the center is God. We cannot allow people to come in and disrupt our peace, because at the end of the day, even when they try to disrupt our peace, what God is going to do, they cannot get in the way of that. So it doesn't matter if you lose the opportunity, if you lose the guy, if you lose the job. It doesn't matter, because if God said that he's going to go in your life and he's going to make all things work together for your good, you need to start believing that. That job loss is part of the plan. And you need to start acting like it, because they fired you to elicit something negative in you, to see if you will doubt yourself in life. That's what other human beings do to each other. That's why I said the way I live my life, I rarely keep people around me. It's very rare. There are certain people that I will let in. Because a lot of people, they haven't ascended into their God consciousness, where instead of lighting someone's spirit, instead of being that good Samaritan, they're playing devil instead. because they haven't unlocked that new level of realizing that when you pour your light into other people, your light is going to shine brighter, as a matter of fact, because you're spreading light to the world. That's why God calls us children of the light in the Bible. There's a reason why he says that. And you cannot preserve that light if you're allowing people to turn the light switch on and off as they please. You are a candle that cannot be blown out, ladies and gentlemen.